In our last episode, we finally ended a very long chapter of boat work that we undertook during our stay in Annapolis. The work took much longer than expected and put us way behind schedule for heading south. It's now time to begin our transit of the ICW, headed south and eventually to the Bahamas. Well, after over 2 months in Annapolis, I can't believe we're finally leaving. It's a beautiful day. We picked a great day to leave. I think it's mid to upper 40s right now. Sun is shining, and yeah, it's really good to be back on the water. How does it feel to be moving?
It feels nice. Beautiful day too. At least it's sunny out. It's not too cold.
Chesapeake Bay is very shallow, and you get kind of waves that stack up. The wind is on the nose, which is not supposed to be the case. Wanted to avoid this, so I'm not sure what's going on, but
I guess we're going for a motorboat ride today.
Hopefully the wind changes. As sailors, we're used to dealing with weather forecasts that don't pan out. In fact, in some capacity, a forecast rarely turns out to be exactly correct, whether it's wind strength, wind direction, or the wave height and period. And many times, it's the timing of these components that turns out to be different. So the forecasted wind direction and even strength might be in the right ballpark, but they may not materialize when they're predicted to. Whether early or late, relatively small changes in the forecast can make a huge difference.
Well, we're just about to the Solomons. As you can see, the sun's about to go down. The wind did not clock around as forecasted, so we've been motoring and beating into it all day. Thought it was going to be a downwind sun sail, but still averaged about 5 knots. Not terrible considering we had headwind. And yeah, it's kind of peaceful out here today.
And what happens when it's the sailors whose timing is off? When our forecasted timeline fails to go as predicted? For the first part of our journey down the ICW, leaving Annapolis about a month later than predicted means frigid temperatures for us. For the first couple of weeks, it means rising extra early to make sure we've got time to gear up and fill our thermoses with hot coffee. Our goal today is to go about 8 hours, and as long as the sun's up, we're going to try and make it to Deltaville, Virginia. Pretty excited about getting from Maryland to Virginia because that seems huge.
On that
it's 8
note,
o'clock.
Get that engine
I've been
up.
outside for like half an hour and I'm already freezing. The next week continues on in much the same way. Rising early, layering up, and trying to make as many miles possible before sunset. We're continuing our travel down the ICW, or Intracoastal Waterway, which winds along the eastern coast of the United States. Slowly but surely, we're making progress south.
It's like 20-something degrees out right now.
Yeah.
It said it feels like 15 degrees.
Yeah.
So we are hiding downstairs. It's about 30 degrees outside. Grace is doing a great job standing watch here.
So tired, I did not have enough coffee. How many miles did we go today? Like 20?
40.
Oh, we went 40? Okay. That's not that bad. I'll take it. Didn't quite make it to Virginia.
Oh, we are?
We did?
Yep, crossed over.
When?
Probably an hour ago.
I didn't even know. Well, that's great. Feels warmer already. So we did make it to Virginia, just not to Deltaville. Oh wow, I'll take it. It's exciting. As one week ends and a new one begins, it's now just about Christmas Day, and the extreme colder than normal temperatures are finally beginning to ease. This is my favorite way to sail. I call it like ghosting. There's almost no noise and we're not healing.
Good morning. It's about 7 a.m. The sun is just coming up. We are in northern North Carolina.
As temperatures continue to rise, we're beginning to feel better about our chances of escaping from the East Coast before another cold spell moves through. And when conditions are nice like this, the ICW can be a very beautiful place. It's now the last week of December, and with the warmer air, we're experiencing quite different conditions on the water than we were just a few days ago. Today we've woken up to a super thick, dense fog. Crazy fog, huh?
Yeah, really dense.
Oh my god.
We're entering the Alligator Pungo River Canal, and I can't even see the canal.
We can't see anything. We're turning into a canal and we can't see anything. I can just make out the trees that are maybe 200 feet away.
Security, security, security. Sailing vessel Calico skies, transiting the Alligator Pungo River Canal. All turn traffic standing by on 16 and 13 out.
It's all just another day in the ICW, and for us, that time is finally almost at its end. It's now the first week of January, and we've made a last-minute decision to haul Calico skies to do the work we didn't get to when we were in Annapolis. It's been 2.5 years since we painted the bottom, plus we have a couple of projects we're not comfortable pushing off any longer. Because it's so late for a departure to the Bahamas, though, we'll have to really hustle to get the work done as quickly as possible.
You guys may have noticed in some of our videos a loud vibration when we motor. While we're out of the water for this week, we're trying to take care of that. One of the things we're doing is changing out the cutlass bearing. So this is the prop shaft. It passes through this strut, and this is a new bearing. Our old one was all rotted out, the rubber and stuff. They're currently trying to press this in with this hydraulic machine. I would have been able to do this myself.
So they're trying to get this gold thing
New bearing
to go bearing, in that
the prop strut.
Prop strap. The cutlass bearing, once inside the prop strut, allows the prop shaft to spin using water as lubrication. We're replacing ours since the rubber inside is worn. To do that, we need the yard's help.
Hold. Oh, hold. Alrighty, so I have to go chop out my prop shaft now.
We're removing our prop shaft because it's bent, and because our new propeller won't fit this one anyway. So we're replacing it with a new one.
So, made a nice cut in the prop shaft. I've heard from buddies that trying to remove the coupling here, you'll spend hours and hours and days, so we opted to cut it.
As luck would have it, there's a prop shop less than an hour away from our location in Hampstead, North Carolina.
Which there was a different prop on this. You on that one, right?
Yeah, slightly different, yeah.
I couldn't tell by
Trying to repack our stuffing box. This is the nut, right? That's that part. That's where the packing's supposed to live. This is the stern tube, and that's the propeller shaft, and there's a hose in there, so the water is in this hose with all these hose clamps. And then this lock nut stops this from moving, but this tightens on this pipe there, and that compresses the packing.
Could you say this is basically just an attachment point for the shaft to go through the hull?
But to keep it waterproof. If we had no good stuffing in there, we'd leak water when we run it.
So this is new stuffing in the stuffing box.
Yep.
Which interestingly enough is not a box at all, and I've been hearing about the stuffing box for years now, and it's a stuffing circle.
This compresses into here, right? So this goes in here and squeezes shut, and that's how you get like the waterproof fitting where the shaft exits.
Right.
There's a stern tube that comes out, this fiberglass, and has a hose. The hose seems dry rotted, so we're working on getting that off. I'm going to replace that too. See that cracking?
With new hose ready, it's time to pop the replacement on.
It's been a while since you've been in the hole.
Yeah. I think.
picked up our new prop shaft, and it's finally time to install it. Like it is with so many boat projects, installing it will be a bit of a process.
I'm going in a hole. I'm gonna spray some stuff in. Okay, give it a shove there. Shoving. Oh, no. Didn't go through, it just popped the stuffing box out. Yeah. Alrighty, so with a little bit of elbow grease, I was able to get the stuffing box over the prop shaft. A lot of lubrication, soap, and I had to kind of push it and rock it. A little bit of a tight squeeze, but I guess that's a good thing. Next, I just slid on the actual coupling, and now I'm going to do some attachments on that.
And after a few more taps to the prop shaft with a mallet, she's finally in.
Should fold back.
As a final step to this project, we're installing our new propeller.
And now the propulsion is this way, so that's cutting, and that's your leading. Yep, that's right.
The Max Prop had the flat blades, not the curve. And they say on these Sabres, it just slaps the water because the shaft's offset. And so it creates a lot of chatter because it's going right up into here.
Over the next couple of days, we managed to cram in most of our remaining projects, namely waxing the hull and painting the bottom. We've been blessed with temperatures that are well above normal for this time of year, which makes these much easier than they could have been. It's now mid-January, and Calico Skies is being put back in the water today. We've pushed incredibly hard to make it happen, and that, combined with a little luck, means we've achieved our goal to complete this haul out in about a week's time. We got splashed yesterday afternoon, so we were back in the water. It's been a rough stretch again here. Annapolis was tough, and moving down the ICW was great to be moving again, but kind of challenging with the cold weather. Living on the hard is hard because you can't use your head, your bathroom. Your water from your sink just goes right onto the ground, so you have to be careful. Like when we were painting the boat, we couldn't do any dishes, so we couldn't eat on the boat at all. It's been a tough haul out, and I just wanted to keep it completely real with you guys because this is one of the really tough aspects of cruising. That's what's happening. I know that I will feel completely different once we get underway, but then that's one other thing for me too, is that I don't know how the trip is going to be, 5-day trip to the Bahamas, but once I get past that, it'll be totally different when we get to the Bahamas, and I know that. I just have to keep reminding myself of that. Join us next week for our sail to the Bahamas, where we see the strongest conditions we've experienced on passage to date.